6:41 now. Welcome back to Fox 5 Morning News on this Friday morning. The big fight between Corey Webster and Santana Moss last week about the only exciting thing on the field Sunday at the Meadowlands. The Redskins' first game of the regular season ended with a 23-17 loss that really wasn't as close as the scoreboard showed. So can they redeem themselves this weekend against the Rams? I think the question is they better redeem themselves against the Rams. This Sunday's game, the home opener for the Skins. We're talking about it this morning with the Sports Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. Morning, guys.
What's up? Hello.
Hey, so the NFL could not have gift-wrapped a better next two games for the Redskins or anybody in the NFL against two teams that collectively went 2-30 last year.
We were just talking about it. The scheduling gods have helped out the Washington Redskins. You know, they had a tough opener, and they've had a tough opener the last two seasons against the New York Giants, but now they're blessed to take on this anemic Rams team that was shut out and blank last week.
But again, I'm usually a guy that likes to look forward on the schedule. This is a Rams team that came in here and beat the Redskins 19-17 at FedEx Field last year, so you cannot look past the Rams. Even though they're one of the worst teams, they're god-awful in the NFL. You cannot look past the Rams. I agree, soft schedule, but you got to focus on the Rams this week.
I mean, we pointed out earlier, the Rams, I believe, are 5-28 since 2007, and Jason points out, two of those wins are against the Redskins.
Right, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams have not been good since Mike Martz. They're awful. They allowed 3 sacks last week. They didn't score against Seattle. They allowed almost 500 yards of total offense. The Redskins could come in here on their C game and get a win. But they have to come out strong.
Perhaps one good thing this year is the Redskins don't have Pete Kendall, because that's what killed them last year against the Rams, if you're looking for one play. The question is, though, coming off of what we saw last week with the Giants in the Meadowlands, can you take anything from that, and is it tough to prepare to play against a lousy team?
Well, I think what you can take from it, is they couldn't get into an offensive rhythm. And against a lousy team, you'd like to see them get in an offensive rhythm. Jason Campbell couldn't really get anything going until that last drive, which really was meaningless. So you'd like to see Clinton Portis get off and Jason Campbell start connecting with his receiver.
And another thing, you cannot get the ball on the 11-yard line of the Giants like the Redskins did when they had the turnover and Landry tipped the ball. D'Angelo Hall grabs it and then settle for a field goal. Good teams that contend for playoff spots, they punch it in and get a touchdown there instead of settling for field goals.
And we're going to have to forget about the trickery, the fake punts, the reverses, the wide receiver options.
Right.
We just need to play good football. And frankly, there's been a lot of attention focused on Jason Campbell, but Clinton Portis needs to do his share. They need to give that man the football. He's been the heart and soul of the team last couple
And when
years.
they give Portis the ball, good things happen. 21-5 when he goes over 100 yards rushing.
Right.
So, I mean, you feed him the ball 20 or 25 times against the Rams, should come out on the victorious side.
And I don't think the teams in the NFL look at it as preparing for a bad team. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. And they are, just worried about getting a win. They're going to prepare for the Rams just like they were preparing for the Giants or, a better team.
Yeah, one question. If you're Coach Zorn, do you open up the offense this week? And I know you're putting the focus on Portis, which I agree, because I think you can run on the Rams. But as far as Campbell goes, do you let him go loose? Do you let him, throw to Kelly or some of these, guys to get the ball downfield more?
Well, here's what I would do, and I've been saying this all week. I would run more no huddle. I know that Jason likes to run the shotgun, and I know that Zorn feels like that limits him a little bit, but let him run no huddle. He seems to perform very well in that sort of situation. It puts the defense on their heels, and instead of worrying about what the defense is giving us, why don't we dictate, being the Redskins, and make them worry about what we're doing?
I agree. You try to take some shots downfield, but you look at what the Rams did last week. They gave up 2 touchdowns to John Carlson, the tight end for the Seahawks. So I think Cooley, a big part of the game plan this weekend against the Rams.
Yeah, but they can't squeak over the Rams.
No, it has to be done.
They can't win 20-17.
Have to beat them decisively.
It's got to be convincing win. They've got to beat them 27-10. For the fans to be happy and to make Jason Campbell feel better about his game. They cannot come in here and squeak.
And that's my question, because do you try to load up on these guys and do what you can to run that score up, or do you just play to win this game because you know if you lose, you're in a world of hurt?
I don't think you got to run the score up because you need to build confidence. And you know what? Here's something that's not being discussed. It would be nice if Malcolm Kelly had more than one catch.
Right.
It would be nice if Devin Thomas had one catch. It would be nice if Fred Davis contributed. They spent 3 second-round draft picks on these guys last year, and they did nothing last year, and in week 1, they did nothing.
I know I'm asking for a lot here, but how about this from Jim Zorn? 30 points. You've never done it since you've been here. 30 points is all we're asking for this weekend.
And don't give up 28. Let's make it a blowout for once. Guys, we'll see you again next hour. Thanks for playing along this morning. The Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. Always a pleasure, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see him again coming up in just about an hour. Here's your lineup for Sunday. We've got you covered. 11:30 Redskins pregame. The Geico Redskins pregame, that is. Then the game at 1 o'clock, followed by the post-game wrap-up, and again the Geico Sports Extra at 11:10.